man, the type of people you attract really matters in what you sell. My audience, I mean, they've spent a lot of money with me over the years, tens of millions. They've invested tens of millions. Like, it's been a lot of money in just a short amount of time. And the type of content I put out is very, I don't want to say it's high level, but it's just very, it doesn't attract cheap people.
I'll tell you what it is. It's not lowbrow. It's not the clickbaity type of content that is super lascivious, or like one of the problems in my industry is there's too many people in my industry who want to see women get shamed. And I'm so totally against that. But that goes viral. So you're pulled into that direction, and you don't have that issue because you're helping people build value and make money.
Yeah. So let's just say it attracts higher quality people, right?
Yeah.
And so, you know, that just is the audience we attract. Tormosi's the same way, right? We did this with Graham. Was it last year? Yeah, last year. We started a fund with Graham because I'm like, dude, I mean, you got so many subscribers, and like, let's see how it goes. You know, the problem is he attracts cheap people, right? Because everything is about saving, everything's about the news.
Oh, got it. Yeah.
And everything's about the market's crashing. And so everybody's very scared and fearful in his audience. And so what we found was, as we tried to raise for this deal, he actually could not raise as much as me, even though he has, let's say, 10 times the subscribers, right? And it was just this interesting thing that we realized where, man, the type of people you attract really matters in what you sell. And so, like, we have an agency now, and the first thing we teach our clients is like, look, guys, first off, what's your business, okay? Because this is going to dictate what kind of content you put out and who you're trying to attract. Is the goal to get the most views and followers, or is the goal to get the right people who are going to spend money with you? Like, what's your overall goal for this? And so for me, you'll never see me talk about the news. You'll never see me talk about, for one, I just don't want to. I don't even know what's going on. I couldn't even tell you. And two, it's like, yeah, it would be nice to have more followers, and there's ways I could do it by just being more broad and like attracting those people, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make the content.
Yeah. And you can, it's crazy when you see how much money some people make with much smaller followings, because it's very niche and they're only going out. It's like the Golf Channel, right? The Golf Channel doesn't do as much as NFL Network, but I promise you, the people who watch the golf,
Dude.
if I'm an advertiser, I'm going right for the Golf Channel. Like
look at how much they pay the golf or PGA for sponsorships.
Yeah.
I mean, it's because they know that audience is extremely valuable. And it's funny, we've never really tried to get sponsors for WealthCon. So we run WealthCon every quarter. And I've never focused on sponsors because I am my own sponsor. My booths of all my companies are everywhere, right? So it's fine. But I was actually talking to Fleischman about this, and I was like, man, you know what, though? It is a missed opportunity because there's things I don't offer that people attending really need. And like, if businesses could understand the value of that room, they would realize how good of a deal it is to be a sponsor. And so I just started to reverse engineer it. And I was like, all right, let me do a webinar explaining to businesses what they're missing out on by not being at this event as a sponsor. And let me get some feedback on what they've been paying at other events, right? So, you know, I've spoken at a lot of events. I've been at a lot of events. I go, guys, okay, tell me about, you know, the events that you've sponsored. How much did you pay? How many attendees? All that stuff, right? A typical booth sponsor might be $5 to $10,000 at like an event, right? Just for like the bare minimum.
Yeah.
And I go, okay, so how many people were at the event? Well, a typical event might be 300. It's 300 to 500 if it's good, right? And most events at that level are charging 100 to 500 a ticket, right? And I've even talked to Dan about this because, you know, his new events company, that's their model. It's all very low. Like, their average ticket price is about $200. Now, they're going to go crazy and get 2,000 to 3,000 people at the event.
Yeah.
But still, if you're going to really understand what the total value of the audience is, you can actually reverse engineer, and you're like, okay, what's the value of the room? Well, if there's 500 people in there and they paid $200 a ticket, the value of that room is $100,000, right? So, okay, that's $100,000 room. WealthCon, we have 1,000 people, and our average ticket is $1,000. So do the math. I mean, I think it's, what is that? That's $1 million? 1,000 times 1,000 is $1 million.
Is $1 million, yeah.
Yep.
1,000 is $1 million.
So right there, the room is 10 times as valuable just based on ticket price and audience, attendance, right? So you're like, well, theoretically, you should pay 10 times the booth sponsor. Like, this is how advertisers advertise on YouTube. That's why CPM exists, because my CPM is $50. Other CPMs are 10. Why is that? Because the quality of the audience is so much higher.
Yeah.
Now, I don't get as many views as some guys, but I'll still make more on a video because of CPM, right? So long story short, I'm like, guys, okay, number one, just based on ticket value, the room is 10 times more valuable. Would you agree, right? Number two, that's not even counting how much these people have bought from me. These people have spent tens of millions of dollars already with me. Like, I know they will spend because I've been the recipient and we have receipts.
Yeah.
So this is an audience ready to buy if you have the right product. And I'm telling you, you have a product that they'd be interested in. And so I'm like, okay, so think about this. You're used to paying 10 grand to some scrub event with low ticket, low quality people, right? If I go and give you a booth for 15 grand, you're stealing it. And so, it's just helping people understand the quality of the audience.
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, I was thinking about, I do these videos. Let's go, the whole thing Hormozy wears to open up his nose, better sleep. Some people wear that mouth tape to keep from sleep apnea. That is a boring topic that could absolutely change someone's life.
Oh, for sure.
Sleep apnea, you get 50% disability in the U.S. military if you have sleep apnea because it kills people. Boring. If I have a guy come on my podcast and argue that the earth is flat, just blows up, super viral. But the problem is this, why would advertisers, like you talking about real estate, if I'm an advertiser, even if you have 1/10 as many views, I know your audience is more valuable than the guy who's talking about ancient aliens that live under Antarctica.
1,000%.
And so that, I think, is where the difference is as far as the AdSense. Because I look at my view count and my AdSense compared to some of my friends who get way more followers, and I'm like, how do I get more views? And I think it's because I talk about evolutionary psychology. I think that's part of the reason why. So yeah, I definitely agree with you as far as that's concerned. The quality of the audience.
The quality matters a lot. And so for anybody thinking about content and everything else, you got to keep that in mind for who you're really trying to. Now, look, if you're Mr. Beast, right, and he's going after everyone, and let's just assume, the more people you get, the lower quality it is. There's only so many high quality people in the world, right? Well, then you just have to create a low quality product.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like Mr. Beast created candy bars. Perfect thing for these guys.
He has a disproportionately high number of his audience under the age of 18. So yeah, he kind of has to he sells to that audience. Same thing with Logan Paul. He's got an energy drink. Like that's where
perfect product for what he's built.
He's not doing a bond arbitrage product. You know what I'm saying?
No.
That's not where for the dab crowd. Yeah, exactly.